When we care for our hair, especially as it starts growing and getting longer, we have certain habits that we've developed over the years just that we've put on autopilot, right? And so the purpose of this video is gonna be to draw your attention to how some of those habits you might have developed could be really damaging for your hair, and how we need to start to shift some of those habits as your hair gets longer to care for them better. Before we jump into that, I'm really excited to share today's video sponsor, Tiege Hanley. They help men start and maintain a skincare routine by simplifying the entire process. I've been using Tiege Hanley for years. It's simple and it's the best skincare system for me, and I hope for you too. I recommend that you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. Comes with a daily face wash to get rid of that dirt and grime on your skin. It comes with a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of those dead skin cells. It comes with an AM moisturizer with SPF 20, because you should always be wearing sunscreen, especially on your face, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every single box comes with a super easy to use instruction card. It tells you when and how much to use, in what order. They just make the whole process of achieving and maintaining great skin so easy. And their products have really helped my skin over the years, but you actually don't even need to take my word for it. They have 7,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers all over the world. And in addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get several extra benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box and DIY pick and choose the products that you want, exclusive monthly deals. You can pause or cancel at any time. There's no contracts or anything like that. You can get free US shipping and low cost shipping to most other countries. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring this video, they're offering you a huge deal to say thank you. All you have to do is click the link in the description below and you'll get 30% off your first box. You'll also get a free gift. I'm not sure what it is. It's a mystery gift, but I'm sure it's awesome. So don't miss out on this amazing deal. Click that link in the description. Get started with Tiege Hanley today. So the first habit that could be damaging your hair is the daily shampoo. Now, before we go into detail on this one, I'm gonna throw out a huge caveat. If you're someone who has a naturally greasy scalp and you've tried a million things to reduce your sebum production, you've tried washing more, you've tried washing less, you've tried going no poo altogether, you've done everything. The only thing that might work for you is a daily shampoo. And that's okay. That's just your genetic scalp moisture level, and it's what you need to do. However, for most guys, daily shampooing is just a habit we've developed over the years because it's totally normal to do when you have short hair. At least it's not as damaging when you have short hair because you're getting a haircut in like 2 weeks. So the truth is, shampooing daily is probably damaging your hair, especially as it grows longer. And the reason is because most shampoo you buy is formulated to deeply cleanse our hair. It has strong detergents in them. And even the gentle, quote unquote, marketed shampoos, they still have cleansing agents in them, even if it's not as strong as a sodium lauryl sulfate. Sodium lauryl methylisethionate, which is a gentler surfactant, it's still a surfactant. In addition to cleansing dirt, sweat, pollutants from our hair, it also removes the natural sebum from your scalp. Now, before you freak out and say, oh my gosh, this is actually a good thing to do when the sebum builds up, it starts to weigh your hair down, it makes your scalp start to smell. So it's a good thing to get rid of that sebum, but we also do want to let our sebum produce on its natural schedule, because before it builds up to an overwhelming amount, it does offer amazing benefits to our hair. It's a natural moisturizer. As we spread it across our hair with our hairbrush, it offers natural protection for your cuticle scale. It offers protection from the elements, it offers protection from the sun. It helps the pH levels on your scalp stay balanced, and constantly stripping that sebum off your hair daily with shampoo can disrupt the natural scalp microbiome, which could lead to scalp irritation, things like dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis. Just different conditions could come into play if you're constantly removing that sebum from your scalp every day. It also removes a lot of those protective qualities as well. So a daily shampoo could be damaging your hair. So what should you do? I try to shampoo every probably 5 to 7 days during the fall, winter time. And in the summer days, I sweat more, I work out, and it's hot in Texas and it's humid. The grease builds up a little quicker, so I shorten it to every 4 days. And I try to use dry shampoo on day 3 to extend my wash days a little bit more. If you have any questions about how to use dry shampoo, I made a totally other video on it where I go into detail about how to use it correctly, if it's safe, and I'll link to it in the description, go watch it. The second habit that is damaging your hair is wetting your hair daily. And when I say daily wetting, what I mean is soaking your hair in the shower, regardless of if you're shampooing your hair or not. Now, if you want to spritz a little bit of water on your hair with like a spray bottle in the morning to like help style it or help refresh your curls or something like that, go for it. I'm specifically talking about shower soaking your hair in water daily. This is really common, especially for people who sweat or live in hot environments. And without getting super technical, water is basically your hair's enemy. Water makes your hair weak.
Water makes you weak. Water is for washing blood off that uniform, and you don't get no blood on my uniform. Boy, you must be outside your mind.
Water makes your hair vulnerable. The longer your hair is wet, the more susceptible your hair is to breakage or damage. The reason for this is because there's a semi-solid structure made up of protective proteins and lipids on your hair called the cell membrane complex. Imagine your hair is like a long, thin straw. The cell membrane complex is the protective layer that wraps around that straw to really protect and keep it strong. And the outermost layer on this straw are scales that protect your hair, similar to scales on a fish, which is the cuticle itself. So your cuticle, it's a part of this cell membrane complex structure. It's sort of the glue that connects your cuticle to your cortex. And these layers cover your hair and help protect it from things that could harm it, like the sun, like heat, chemicals, rough handling, which I'll get to in a second. It also helps keep your hair hydrated. It acts like a barrier. It prevents too much water from going in or out of your hair. And so when your cell membrane complex is in good shape, your hair looks shiny, it feels smooth, it's healthy. It's like having a nice strong shield around your hair to keep it healthy and happy. So enter daily wetting, daily soaking. When your hair is constantly wet, this cell membrane complex gets weaker, like little by little. And daily wetting over time can cause it to dissolve, can cause it to weaken. It can weaken these proteins and lipids, which leads to weak cuticles, which leads to broken cuticles, which leads to damage. Once your cuticles are damaged, you're looking at high porosity hair. You're looking at dull, dry, it can't retain moisture. It's just gonna look bleh all the time. So the solution to this is just don't put your hair underneath the faucet when you're showering. Put it up in a bun, put a hair cover over your hair in the shower. Whatever you gotta do, only get your hair wet on the days that you're shampooing your hair, and do not get it wet any other day. That's basically the solution. The next mistake on this list is towel drying your hair with rough cotton towels. Now, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but water weakens your hair. Another reason water makes your hair vulnerable is because it swells your cortex, and this causes your cuticles to raise. Have you ever descaled a fish before cooking it? You take a descaler, or something with a rough face, and you drag it over the skin, and the scales of the fish come off. That's delicious when you cook the fish. But this is essentially what you're doing when you're taking a rough towel to wet hair. Your cuticle scales are a little bit raised. You're taking something with a rough texture. When you smother it with friction, your cuticles can break. And when your hair is wet, it's at its weakest. So that's basically what you're doing when you're towel drying your hair really roughly. And what do broken cuticles lead to? Once again, hair that's unable to retain moisture, looks dull and dry all the time. So imagine a guy who's growing his hair out for the first time. When he had short hair, he shampoos daily, which means he wets his hair daily, and he just takes a towel and he just drying his hair and smothering it with a rough towel. When you have short hair, you can get away with that, because chances are you're cutting your hair every 2 to 3 weeks, maybe once a month if you want it to go a little longer, but you're getting it trimmed too quickly for you to notice any damage. But when you have long hair or you're growing your hair out, this is a recipe for disaster. I'm gonna throw in a bonus tip because this one's really easy to explain and there's a really simple fix. As guys grow their hair and it gets long enough to put it up in a bun, they're typically gonna go to their nearest grocery store, their nearest drugstore, and they're gonna buy the cheapest set of generic 20-pack black hair ties, right? Don't use these. Do not buy these. The glue that holds these together is so sharp that every time you pull the hair tie out of your hair, it's like taking a knife to a couple hairs. I guarantee you're breaking a few hairs each time you pull these hair ties out of your hair because the glue just slices over it. So some non-damaging hair tie alternatives you can get. My favorite are these DIY hair ties. I'll link to them in the description. I made a whole other video on them, but basically they're silk and you tie them yourself. See the knot right here? You tie them yourself. There's no glue that holds them together. Other options to use, you can use as keychain hair ties. You can use a scrunchie, maybe at night to sleep with, you know, something non-damaging. But anyways, that's the solution to that. If you made it this far in the video, guys, comment your favorite thing about the new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom game in the comments. I think it'd be hilarious to have a video about hair just full of Zelda in the discussion. So if this video happens to go viral and people, they're just gonna be so confused when they come to the comments and they just see people talking about Tears of the Kingdom. Anyways, that would make me laugh. Comment whatever you want. Have a great day or night, wherever you are, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.